I could have shared my story as a bereaved mother who lost a precious baby girl at 14 weeks of pregnancy. Or I could have talked about the wonderful and precious journey of adoption as the proudest mother of a 4-year-old boy. Instead, I will share my most recent, sweet, loving, and fulfilling experience of how my daddy taught me to be a better mom. In May of 2009, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 cholangiocarcinoma, a very rare form of cancer that affects 1 in 100,000 people. Daddy, always a very healthy, caring, and independent human being, was looking forward to enjoying his full retirement in the States, close again to his 3 daughters and grandkids, after being almost 20 years apart. He came along with my mother from Peru. By that time, I was in the middle of my fertility treatments, waiting to hear or read the "you're pregnant" news. So I had a little more time available to take my parents to the regular doctor's visits. I was with Daddy when he heard the terrible news. I will never forget his response, preceded by an innocent smile. "Doctor, what do we do next?" he asked, fully determined to do whatever was needed to beat this ugly disease. He went through months and months of chemotherapy, me by his side during each time and each session, managing to take time off from my full-time job to squeeze in his chemo treatments and my fertility procedures. I remember sometimes getting the not pregnant news in the morning and having to take Daddy to his chemo treatment a couple of hours later. Daddy would be getting ready to receive his daily chemo dosage in the treatment room, and I would be in the bathroom, crying inconsolably, and then putting my happy mask back on each time, making sure to keep him upbeat, positive, and well-fed. There was chemo, CT, PET scans, blood tests, constant fighting with insurance companies, follow-up doctor visits, good and bad days, and always researching the newest clinical trials that could possibly save my father's life. You see, the average life expectancy for a patient with his kind of cancer was only weeks after diagnosis. My dad was 80 years old when first diagnosed in 2009. He was already beating the odds. As any mother would do with her child going through an illness, I would make sure Daddy was having fun too. Out-of-state trips, outings to wine country, Glenn Miller concerts, Charlie Chaplin movies, all brought him laughs and excitement during this very difficult journey. This was my world for 2 years until my failed adoption experience in 2010. Heartbreaking. I knew my daddy still needed me as he continued with his cancer treatments. However, this second phase was tough. On one side, I continued to be Daddy's mom, coaching him, lifting up his spirits when needed, managing his overall medical care, and making sure every single penny he had was carefully spent. On the other side, I was still trying to get pregnant, filling out paperwork with various adoption agencies, plus grieving the loss of another baby girl, this time through a very difficult adoption case my husband and I had to turn down. Then 2011 came. My husband and I got the news we were waiting for so long. A baby boy to be born in April in Iowa, our son. We became the proudest and happiest parents of all. I finally became the mother of a newborn and continued my role of mother to my own father. Daddy stayed in remission until last summer, when his oncologist gave us some terrible news again. Acute myeloid leukemia, AML. I will never forget that afternoon in August, heavy rain pouring over the doctor's office, and Dad and I facing this harsh reality once again. This time, though, it was different. It felt final. Before heading back to the car, we stopped. I hugged and kissed him very hard and told him how much I loved him and how much we all still needed him. We realized this was our final battle, and we were determined to fight it until the very end. His love for life and his never-ending spirit were unshaken. Even though his appetite was pretty much gone by this time, he never lost his love for Peruvian food, especially his beloved ceviche, a very popular seafood dish. He also worked very hard to study for his American citizenship test. It was another way for us to bond and be together. Daddy became a proud American citizen at the age of 81. Together, we started a new chapter, the AML chapter. We went through blood transfusions, fevers, hospitalizations, scary phone calls late at night, to the doctor's exchange, mini strokes, until a nearly fatal fall landed him in the ICU, where he spent almost 3 weeks, including this past Christmas and New Year's, breathing with the help of a ventilator. On January 3rd, he was recovering well enough to be transported to a rehab center where he endured intense physical therapy. He had to learn how to walk and talk again. Each day, he went through his grueling recovery with faith, determination, courage, acceptance, and of course, a smile. Dad's resiliency to never give up made me a better mom to my son. This bittersweet journey of caring for my father and my son made me realize what it takes to be a loving daughter and a loving mother at the same time. My father and my son fill my heart so very much. I now feel truly connected with all the moms who try their best for their families each and every day. My daddy taught me the qualities I need to be a good mom, and that is be loving, caring, tender, brave, patient, strong, understanding, honest, fun, and not such a nag all the time. No. Unfortunately, my beloved father passed away peacefully the afternoon of January 18, surrounded by his bride of 59 years, my mother, daughters, sons-in-law, and grandkids. Daddy, thank you very much for being a huge inspiration for me, for showing me how to live and how to love, and for making me a much better mother. Thank you. I love you. Te quiero mucho.